everyone. Welcome to Midlands Rock Podcast. Phil, welcome back. Looking happy as always for those on YouTube. How you doing?
Yeah, good mate. You know me, can't keep the smiles away. So yeah, had a nice little break, and now we're back to this pile of shit.
How's your feet after your 21-mile walk the other day?
23.
All right, fucking got lost a
Yeah, they're,
bit.
they're just about blister free now. Um, Still taped up a bit just to get in my work shoes, but other than that, starting to feel like normal feet again.
Nice. Well, you've never had normal feet, but it's good to hear you on the mends. Luckily for our listeners, it's not just us two talking shit today. We've got Zak Poole also talking shit today. Rotheram Titans legend. Zach, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm good. I'll take the legend status from your mouth, not mine.
That's
I
from your
will, I
mum's
will,
mouth, actually.
I will get a bit sick. So, but yeah, no, I'm good, thank you, guys. Real good.
Good pre-season going all right?
I survived another year, another pre-season, and yeah, it's just one of them things. Comes with part and parcel of rugby, doesn't it? You
Well,
you get through it, and you start playing games, then it all becomes worth it. So happy to be playing rather than happy to be in a pre-season. Put it that way.
yeah, fair enough. So before we delve into what pre-season was properly like, tell us how you got into rugby in the first place.
So even though I look a lot older than I am, I had a really hard paper round. I am only 26, so I'm kind of from that generation of the 2003 World Cup, as cliche as it is, the old Inspire generation and all that malarkey. So wanted to watch all that, always wanted to get into it, was a bit of a wild kid and begged and begged and begged, and my mum took me down to rugby and went to Boston Rugby Club to start, and they put a tag on me and I tackled some kid and they were like, no, that's not how it is, mate. And I said, well, sod this, and I ain't bothered, mum, take me home. I think they quickly put me through, and I ended up playing a couple of years up, so I could just go straight into tackling. Then family moved to Market Raiding, which is what I would class as my club, my boyhood club, and always in the heart and all that. So I then went, but then when I moved back, by the time I was that age of 9, they were already playing contact. So I then went back into my actual age group, and obviously I was 2 years. I was massive and was just that big kid running through, ripping heads off. I thought, whoa, bloody hell, I've made it. Get me in the England squad now. But 9-year-old Zach was a bit big-headed. So you get to reality when everyone catches up with size, and that's where you kind of realise whether you've got it or not. So still went through Leicester Academy and went into National League Rugby, where played with Phil and obviously knocked him out of the squad, and he had to go back to Paviers, bless him.
Yeah, fucking thanks for that, mate. Jesus.
Yeah, sorry, lad. Sorry, Pabs. Sorry.
I picked the team, but that's fine. Let's pretend like you didn't fucking ride the pine for a year, you prick.
So yeah, so ended up there and just loved the national leagues. It was working at the same time, earning a few extra quid, and getting steaming on the buses all the way around the country. So we had a good year that year. To be fair, Phil, we stayed up, didn't we? Which was
teeth,
yeah, which was a good crack. It was a real good crack. And then found myself at Rotheram, out of the Yorkshire 20s squad, and went to Rov their first year down from the Championship, and just kind of became part of that rebuild. We then stayed up, went down, and COVID, and could go on forever about it. But we're back to National One now after a fair few years of slogging it out and enjoying it though. Enjoying it, and that's kind of what matters, isn't it?
Yeah. So did it go Hull UFC and then over to Roth? Was it that order, or was it a slightly different order?
Yeah, so that was the order. So I was still at Hull Eyes when I went to Hull UFC. When I went to Hull UFC, spoke to Gary, their coach, and he was like, "Look, Eyes was playing every week, but it was my last year of under 20s, and I kind of knew it was my last chance to represent England in any capacity. So I kind of had a year where I concentrated on the county side of it, rather than the league side of it. I had a really good county year. Played at Hull at like a lower level and didn't play as often, which was hard because anyone that knows me knows that I love playing. But it paid off because I then went away with the Cartings under 20s to Georgia, which is pretty cool. Not many people have been to Georgia,
No.
and not many people have played for England, whether it is counties, 20s, 60s, whatever it is. It was something I was wanting to do, and it was an amazing experience. So I then went from that to Rotherham.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I was talking to my missus just the other day. Georgia looks like a mint place to go. It looks like they eat quite a lot of meat as well.
Yeah,
So,
the food was, I don't know, the food was questionable. There's definitely a lot of meat, but a lot of the meat still had eyes in. Put it that way.
what would be your go-to then? If meat with eyes wouldn't be the go-to, you used to a nugget and
Oh,
chips or steak and chips and
easy, mate. I'm probably the most English man they come. I'd have a fry up and then I'd have a roast.
yeah, fair play, mate. That's exactly what I have before a game. To be fair.
Very, mate, very simple. I ain't got a bulldog tattoo on my arm or anything, but I do. I do. I'm simple. That I like a fry up and I like a roast. That's me down to a T.
I was saying to some of the lads just the other week when the pub just near Pabs was a carvery at one point. I was playing fourth team rugby, and this is where I think I was nicknamed Fat Smelly Tom. I'd get there after I get to the carvery one day, and I thought, oh, I'll go in for a quick pint because I'm early because I used to get the bus. Decided, I've got 3 hours till kick off. I'll have a carvery. It was like £4.50 for a carvery and a pint. It was fucking class. Couldn't move on the pitch. It was absolutely class.
That doesn't matter, mate. You can't get that value for money nowadays, can you?
You can't. Phil, I know what you were going to say. You pulled a face. I still can't move on the pitch. However, we won't dwell on my try. It's not about me today. That'll be next week's stuff. Phil, you've obviously been up and down the country and across certain waters. Have you been somewhere on a rugby tour? You just want home comfort food, and then suddenly you get a fish with eyes and a shit.
My tours have been to sort of first world countries. No offense to Georgia, but
not sure she's listening, mate. She's not a rugby fan.
I've done Australia, Canada, Scotland, Wales. Well, I don't know, maybe second world countries in that case. Bit of France, bit of Italy. Nothing too left field like that. I mean, talk about the Georgians having a quite heavy meat-based diet. You just have to look at most of them to sit in that, and sort of Russian anabolics in the diet is what they live their lives on, really, isn't it?
Was Georgia, as we'd expect Georgia now, if you know anything about Georgian rugby, where it is just quite a forward-based scrummaging team, even at that
seem to
period?
develop like these world-class wingers as well, don't they?
Oh yeah,
it's bizarre. They have like incredible front row, back row. They've always got a good like 9 or 10, and then they just have these freak wingers that just absolutely rapid.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The whole team were freaks. Like they were just monsters. I don't know necessarily rugby ability. Like a lot of their tackling was hard. Like you knew that you got hit, but you got judo throwed a few times. But that same Georgia team then went to the under-20s World Cup and beat South Africa. So.
Right. Okay.
As the England Carties, we had a pretty tasty team, and we did the double on them in Georgia. So it was a good talk. When you're winning, it's always good. And first week was like in like hostel, like very dicey. We stayed in the hostel and in the hostel only. It was like a training camp there, and then the second week we ended up in the city, Tbilisi, which that was a bit cooler. Had a few beers out and about, and they said, "Oh, don't do this. Oh, be careful." And obviously, you get a few beers down you, and that goes out the window. And we're all alive, so it can't have been that. It can't have been that bad. Maybe we were just lucky. Maybe we were just.
You didn't do properly. That's why. You could have lost at least one or two.
Yeah, but we didn't do a head count on the plane, so there might still be 2 lads there.
What was the kind of training setup like at County? Was it every few months or whatever? Because obviously everyone was playing away at clubs and.
So the 20 stuff, we ended up coming whenever period it came. It become quite where we had like probably game, week off, game. Whereas in my first year, I was playing that one on a Saturday and then the game on the Sunday, which was just wild. Like, because the game on the Saturday was no joke. It was full booner. We were going hard week in, week out, and then I'd go play on the Sunday, and I was probably pissed on the bus on the Saturday night. So that didn't really help things. So yeah, they were always on a Sunday, but it was predominantly like week on, week off, week on, and then we played, because we got to the final. It was quarters, semis, finals. So we ended up having probably 7 games come the end. So it was quite a packed period, and we trained. Then when we had a week off in between, we would train on the Sunday.
Oh right, jeez.
So I would then play on the Saturday when we trained the Sunday, but I just didn't have a full part in the Saturday before the Sunday in the second year, because just a bit selfishly really, but just made the decision that I knew it was something I wanted to do. Not saying I wouldn't have done it otherwise, but risk of injury is higher and all of that malarkey. So that's kind of
quite interesting. You compare this. So that's Yorkshire under 20s, obviously, which I know from being in and around clubs in Yorkshire for a while is a highly sort of prestigious setup, and they take it seriously. You know, Kendo ran it for a while. I think Kendo ran it when you were in it, didn't he?
Yeah, I had Kendo.
Yeah, so like you would have training sessions, whereas you look at sort of NLD under 20s, and they might manage one training session before 3 games, and wonder why things don't go so well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. So obviously, for me being market raisin boy, I was NLD up to 16, and then obviously went to Leicester. So, but then I've always been at Yorkshire clubs, and as if you've met my mum, you probably know that they don't come much more Yorkshire.
Jesus Christ, no.
So it was always a thing that obviously I've always probably ended up, and the plan was to end up playing for Yorkshire, but doesn't take away the NLD link that I had, but it's just chalk and cheese. So if you had the opportunity to do Yorkshire or NLD, realistically, you're going to pick Yorkshire because, like you say, Phil, they do take it seriously, and the chances of you getting to Twickenham are higher, and the chances of you then going further. I know the counties thing isn't a thing anymore, which is a shame, but the opportunities seem to be a lot more.
It's a big pool of players. There's a lot of talent in Yorkshire. That you look at, even now probably, you look at the good young teams, they're all predominantly Yorkshire, aren't they? They're all coming out of Yorkshire, the big teams. Phil, what was your first impression of Zak when he first rocked up and you first saw him? Did you go, fuck me, he's a bit of me? Or did you go, Jesus Christ, who's this lad? Thinks he owns the world already. What was it?
No, he wasn't arrogant or anything like that. He was hard to understand. And he didn't offer me much in the line either. So because I would have been forwards coach when he arrived, or sharing forwards coach when he arrived. But yeah, I don't think you weren't there for preseason, were you? You rocked up sort of like just before the season, or just as we'd started the season. I seem to remember.
Yeah, just come the end of pre-season.
Well timed.
I was going to say that sounds like a guy after my own heart. I'll start playing rugby just after pre-season ends. That'd be my deal.
Yeah, and then that's first game of the season, DMP at home, first game at that one, scored, and I thought, fucking hell, this is easy. Never scored again.
We had a good year that year. So we'd just survived the year before on the penultimate day, or 3 games from the end, and then went into that second season. I don't think I was playing the first couple of months because I'd had my knee operation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you didn't play to start.
So yeah, we had quite a good squad. We had a young squad as well, and we did all right for the first month, and then it all kind of fell apart. And we were fighting quite hard because we had, at one point, I think we had Zak playing 6. We had a relatively inexperienced number 8, and then we had another lad, I think, who was either your age or a year above you, Zak, at 7. So
yeah,
had like average age of about 19.
At one stage, I think even when we had even more injuries, we had Sando, who's my age, at 7.
Yeah, Sando, that's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
I went to 8. I was 18, and then at 6 we had Cox, who was only a couple of years older than me.
Yeah.
So, and we were all give it our best and put our body on the line, but we just didn't have an old head, did we, in the back row? So we were all headless chickens that wanted to run around and hit things and carry hard, but it was just having that knowledge of when to kind of slow things down. I feel like that's kind of what we gained when you come back in, Phil, wasn't it? I think
I do love slowing things down.
It got to the stage where I think you then even ended up in the second row when we had injuries, did you not? So then we went back to having that young back row.
Yeah, so me and Macon ended up in the row together, and we kept I think I'd go, like, at one point I was going to number 8 to attack, but defended in the row, which was I was absolutely fine with.
That sounds like a bit of you.
Living the dream, mate.
So, sometimes at Paz, mate, he puts himself at 12 in attacking. It's not
mate, I have seen it. It's
whatever works, eh? Whatever gets the job done.
Yeah, needs must and all that.
Well, you've got it.
Some people do. Some people think they do. Zak, you. I just gave a quick Google because I like to be a little bit of a stalker, and I found a quick, short fire question round that Titans have done on you, and it says your best rugby moment was captaining the winning side for the Jason Leonard Cup at Twickenham. Give us a little bit more about that.
Yeah,
the 20s Cup.
Yeah, that was back to the under-20s stuff.
Right.
I must have done that 7 years ago when I signed at Rov, and it probably still says I'm 108 kilos, which I ain't seen 108 kilos for probably 7 years now. So I wouldn't believe everything that you read online. But yeah, that was a great moment. Obviously the Georgia tour, that was great, but obviously recently Rotheram winning National 2, that was a good old do. I think for a lot of us as well that were in that squad, with the ones that had been there from the early days of kind of Rov going down, and it meant quite a lot because we'd stuck by Rov and they'd stuck by us, and we had a really good squad. Obviously some real good mates that probably friends for life now. So it was nice to get that win, and especially in the manner that we did it. Just sleeping giants the whole year, and I think pipped it in the last 3 weeks or something. So that was a good do, which we had a fair few piss ups for, and about 20 of us went on a trip to Dublin, all paid for by the kitty, which always makes it nice. Fans contributed a few quid for some beers, but
class.
Yeah, the kitty throughout the year, which I'm very hot on. Lads don't get away without paying. I have a card machine and everything. There's no excuse at Rob not to pay into the kitty. So it all comes worth it at the end when we're in Dublin for 3 days and lads are sinking 20 pints of Guinness a day. So that's probably up there now. That bit older. That looking back, that'll be remembered.
Well, or not remembered if you sang 20 pints of Guinness.
Yeah,
each day.
There's certain things that you need to forget. You know that.
Well, yeah, we used to try and delve quite well into those stories, but seems like you're more than happy to stay clear of those ones. That is one thing that when you said about the fans, some of the fans contributed to the kitty. Whenever I speak to your mum or other people that go to Rov, they always say that it is just like going to any kind of grassroots rugby club. The atmosphere is exactly the same. So for those that have never been to watch a Rotherham game, what does it feel like? What is that relationship with the fans like?
I think the best way to describe it is it's personal. Might sound crazy to the outside world, but they will invite you around for dinner and they want to know who you are, who your mum is, who your partner is, who your brother is, who your sister is. And obviously they all know who my brother is because he's so big when he walks in, they're like, who the hell is that? Why is he not playing? And then they realise that I tell him he's crap. So they really make it it's like a personal club, and they'd give you their last fiver. And I think the noise. I'm not saying it's the nicest of chants or accents in Rotherham, but the noise that they generate is massive. Whether there's 200 or 500 people there, there's just a special kind of buzz you get when you run past the shed. Especially at the level where you get clubs that have a good turnout and they score and they have a little clap, where Rov's, it's like a religion to them a little bit. It's hard to explain. You've got to be there and you've got to feel it. I don't know what it feels like as an away supporter or an away player, but I know how it feels as a home player. And for us, it's said a lot and it's cliche, but they really are our 16th man.
It's a daunting place to go. It is a daunting place to go. I remember I've played there many a time in my career. It's a hard place to play at. The fact that the pitch is outrageously narrow doesn't help.
Helps me.
No, it's for those who don't know, it's Clifton Cricket Club, isn't it? Essentially,
yeah, Clifton Lane,
yeah, Clifton Lane Cricket Club, yeah, and they don't like you going on the cricket square, obviously. So you're between sort of a rather large stone wall and the cricket square is the pitch with a shed stuck on the side of the wall, which is full of people that make a lot of noise. As Zak has mentioned, not necessarily the kindest words come from the shed if you're not wearing Rotheram colours. But it's a proper venue, a proper rugby venue, and I haven't played there for like 7 to 10 years, but the changing rooms are crap for the away team. The walk from the changing room to the pitch is daunting because you just got angry Rotherhams shouting music. It's just a proper Yorkshire rugby club is probably the best way to describe it.
You say the change rooms are bad. Are they as bad as they are at Lady Bay? We're not. So they're that small, or are they worse?
Rotherham's were. I don't know what they're like now, Zak, but the Rotherham away changing room was tiny.
Yeah, I don't think they've done them up. We do now give them 2 though. We give you 2 changing rooms. We must have got soft over time.
You must be.
We give you 2, one for the physio, but it's not Yeah, it's not massive. It might be like the old Brian Clough tactics of painting it brown to get get in your heads.
It's rank. So then, not only that, they used to have the shitter was in the changing room, like basically in the middle of the changing room.
Nice.
Don't know if that's still there. There used to be a horrible old leather physio bed in the middle of the changing room, taking up loads of space as well.
Oh yeah, I think that's still in there. I think. Yeah, I think that's still in there.
And then was it Rotherham
might even
where
be
you
wood? Might even
where
be
you had
wood
like
and
the
leather.
plastic curtains over the shower entrance? Is that Rotherham?
No. But the shower's never warm.
No,
but I suppose that's great for recovery. We're quite a professional club that really pushes recovery. So a cold shower after is brilliant for with it blood circulation and all that.
That's absolutely fucking class. So we've got shit showers, but it's better for recovery actually. So it's cold because we don't want you to. We want you to get better quickly.
That's the one.
Where's I've done this with Phil before, but where is the worst change room you've been to, Zach?
Me, probably Isha away. It's like getting changed in a galley kitchen.
Really?
I agree. It's not great.
And then there was one before. They're gone now. R.I.P. Old Elthamians. You play at a school, and the changing room was massive and lovely, but they had underfloor heating, so you were like dripping in sweat pre-game, half-time, end of the game. Like,
do you know what?
Was horrible.
Never thought of that because we're getting some of that. I've never thought about what it'd be like in the heat.
Vile.
It's not going to be that level of heating in the pitch as well.
Was it? Oh, is it like
vile.
tepid floor water?
But then again, just let's be horrible at all the London clubs. We are Northern at the end of the day. Richmond's not great.
I'm not.
Richmond's not great.
No, Richmond's not great. That's true. But it's traditional, isn't it? So
yeah,
they get away with that.
Yeah, we had the old school. We're in London, aren't we? Speech off Jenko once in the Richmond changing room. That was brilliant. Give it the old Neil Warnock, didn't he? But yeah, Richmond's not great. But yeah, I'd probably go Isha because it really is. It is like a galley kitchen.
It's weird as well because in the Isha ones, you normally get two change rooms. You normally get the two far ones, and you put the backs in one, and then the forwards in the other. And then you walk into separate doors, but then you kind of like go around and you meet each other at the back of the showers.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's
it's a bit of an odd setup.
Bit of a rendezvous. That's good to get in the head, though, that isn't it? It's a bit good to get in the head, send them separate ways, and it's not a team.
But the thing is, forwards going in one and backs going the other. The backs they're laughing. They've got loads of room. You should split back and forward. Can't have our two props next to each other. Can't get past.
Yeah, no, true. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed. So there's benches opposite each other, and there's literally like a little channel down the middle.
Oh, really?
So you literally can't. While someone's getting changed, you can't get past it.
Oh, mate, that's good. That I rate that as a tactic. Wouldn't want to get changed in there. Would want it if that's what I had to play against after.
Yeah, that's up there. That's up there for me. And obviously we'll be back there this year playing against them. So
Wharfdale's one there as well. Can't stand Wharfdale's changing rooms.
I don't mind Wharfdale's changing rooms, but Wharfdale's just hard to go in it. It's not. It's one of them places.
There's nothing good about Wharfdale.
It's hard to go win. They could be bottom of the league and play their Colts, and you could still be. It's hard to beat them. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like it's just hard. They're a good bunch of lads. You have a great Guinness after. Can't complain with that.
Food's always good. Food is always good actually.
Yeah, food's good, but it's hard. You got to get over the line. Last year's probably I think last year's the first time I've ever beat Wharfdale at Wharfdale, because we lost to them in pre-season with eyes as well, didn't we?
No, we played them in the season. They were in our league that year.
Oh, that was it.
We beat them at their place.
Yeah,
that was the year before you. That was the year we relegated them.
Yeah, so then my year, did we play them in pre-season? No, Rotherham played in pre-season. My first year at Rov, we played in pre-season, lost, and I thought, oh, God. And that we would just come down from the champ, Granted, it wasn't the same team, but we lost that. And then the year after, pre-season, that one again, we lost. First year in that 2, lost away. And then last year, finally got over the line. But just a bit of a bogey for us and a lot of teams, really.
Yeah, we lost Donny when Donny were down in that one. We lost there.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just one of those places where it's just uncomfortable to play rugby then, or is it just it's just one of them, it's just a shit
I
up?
don't know how to really describe it. So imagine playing. So it's quite an incline on the pitch.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but not an incline. The incline's more across the pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on a slight angle.
So you go.
So you never benefits you.
When you're throwing in the line out, I could make one call on the left-hand side of the pitch, and the hooker would underthrow it, and then I could make the same call on the right side of the pitch, and the hooker will overthrow it.
Yeah, we get that with our hooker, but that's because he's shit. So
hookers always have an excuse, don't they? But I will back them up on this one.
But at the end, so one end of the pitch is fenced, and it's the road.
Yeah.
The other side, and the top end. So what I'd describe as the top end of the pitch. There's like try line, quite a short dead ball, and then immediately a 6.5 foot stone wall.
Yeah, like dry stone wall. And then the other side of that wall is sheep, I think.
Sheep.
Yeah.
And where's this place? Wolfdale. Where's Wolfdale?
Wolfdale. So it's right on the border
Yorkshire
between.
Moors, isn't it?
Yeah, Yorkshire.
Right,
It's right on the border between Lancashire and Yorkshire, really, isn't it?
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. That's why us Southerners like to stay in the south, because there's nothing like that in there.
I did like that too. The North. There was some good rivalries, good clubs. And the thing is, what rugby's like. Everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
But in the North's even more. Like everyone knows everyone in the North. So every week you're playing against someone, you're playing against a few of your pals, and it was good. But it was definitely time for Rob to kick on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably a good place to finish today. I really hope that Rob do well this year. What is the aim this year, or do you want to keep that under wraps just in case?
No,
just in case we don't meet it.
It's just one of them things that cliche and probably everyone will say, but we'd all just taken it week by week. We had a great win on Saturday, beat Rotheram Park, probably ruffled a few feathers, but that means nothing if we don't back it up and go beat DMP. So we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I'm definitely an optimist, and I just think we'll take it week by week and see where we are at the end. But I'd like to, on a personal thing, if I'm looking at it, I'd like the end to be definitely top half and not bottom half. Put it that way.
Well,
it's mad that big. Again, every team's sort of on a par. All 14 teams in the league are in sort of the same boat. Is it 14 or 16 now?
14 now.
It's 14 now, isn't it? Yeah.
Three go down.
They might have their strongest team. The next week they might not. It's such a strange.
Yeah, I think with 14 teams and 3 going down, I think that's a lot.
Mm.
So the pressure's on every week. I think you've got to be looking at the stats from like last year. You've got to be winning more than, I think it's 12 games to guarantee safety.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if that guarantees it, depending on bonus points, which, as you know, in rugby, bonus points can be a killer. So looking at a game where you're going to play, 26 games, got to be winning half of them just to be in the mix to stay up. So
which is mad, isn't it?
It's not a forgiving league. It is not a forgiving league.
You've got to get something like 30. Done this before. 38 points gives you like the best mathematical chance. If you get over 38 points, you're meant to be relatively secure. But then if you got a faction bonus points, so it's more like 50 by the time you get to.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite tough.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. Like I say, it's not forgiving. But yeah, we're just gonna take it week on week and enjoy it. Enjoy.
Yeah.
The travel's going to be a bit longer, which some people could look at as a bad thing. I look at it as longer on the pitch with the boys, and the bus is a good crack. So, but yeah, excited, very excited.
That's class. That's class. We've only got, because I'm still a cheapskate, I'm only doing 40-minute meetings, but that's class. Thanks for coming on today, mate. Go well on Saturday, go well for the rest of the season, and obviously enjoy fatherhood. Didn't touch on it, but still enjoy it.
Cheers, guys, and
Cheers,
good
mate.
luck. Good luck to Pabs.
We'll be all
Cheers,
right.
mate.
Don't worry about it. Cheers, mate.
Guys.
Thanks all. See you later.
See you later. Bye bye.